The sunshine and low humidity continuing for your Thursday afternoon and even into the start of the weekend. Meteorologist John Birchfield here with a check on that forecast and also some changes in the weather that are coming our way. Dry and mild conditions with low humidity for your Thursday afternoon. Highs are only going to be in the upper 70s, well below average, and humidity levels remaining very dry and comfortable. Current conditions have shown blue skies and sunshine. There is going to be a little less fair weather cloud cover today than some of those cumulus clouds we saw yesterday. 71 degrees, that current temperature, and very, very light winds. So an absolutely picture perfect day with temperatures below average by late July standards. Additionally, that air quality index, or AQI, remains in the good category at a 40 based on the current observations around midday, and that good category is anywhere from 0 to 50. So compared to where we were a week ago in the thick of that Canadian wildfire smoke, the AQI has improved drastically, and it'll stay that way through the weekend. Humidity levels are also very low. The dew point is at 48, and anything below 60 is comfortable. So with a dew point in the upper 40s, that is a very pleasant and mild feel for the afternoon. Now, this morning was a little bit chilly. If you stepped out early, you may have needed the long sleeve or a light jacket. Our morning low temperature of 53 was actually the coolest morning of July so far by a long shot, and that's the coolest temperature that we have recorded since June 21st. So it's been about a month since we've had a temperature that was that chilly. Our low temperatures this morning did drop down into the upper 40s in Monroe County, Fulton County, and Hillsdale County. A low of 53 in Toledo, a low of 55 in Bowling Green. Some of the data a little bit off there in Seneca and Sandusky counties, but you get the picture that it was a cool morning. Temperatures as of midday have risen into the lower 70s. And we are expected to stay that way. Most areas staying well shy of the 80-degree mark. Quiet conditions across the Great Lakes region and the Midwest, and that is thanks to an area of high pressure to the west of us. That is going to deliver continued sunshine and bright and beautiful skies through the afternoon. Now, just a couple days ago, we were in the thick of a strong cold front that was producing severe weather across much of the region. It was a very sharp cutoff across the Buckeye State, where areas south and east of us saw severe weather reports. Down towards Kentucky and West Virginia, severe weather, and that extended up into New England as well earlier on in the week. I want to highlight just tornado reports, and a number of tornado reports coming in across the Buckeye State, mainly in southeastern Ohio and far eastern Ohio. Some additional tornado reports in Kentucky, and then further up into New England, even as far north as Maine, there was a funnel cloud that was reported as a result of those severe storms. Now, one thing that we're keeping an eye on is the potential for our next storm system, and that's going to be rolling in on Monday. This is still 5 days out. However, there is going to be the potential that we do see a weather disturbance and enough heat and humidity that we could see some instability in the atmosphere. That storm risk extends from Illinois and Wisconsin back towards southern Michigan, Indiana, and the Buckeye State, and we're keeping a close eye on that, even though at this point there's still a good deal of uncertainty. That severe risk extending across Lake Michigan, and it does encompass all of our counties stretching up towards the lakeshore. So there will be the risk for some strong thunderstorms with that cold front that'll be arriving. Forecast for today, very tranquil, mostly sunny skies, dry and pleasant conditions, high temperatures in the upper 70s, and a very light breeze that'll be expected. The hour-by-hour forecast does show you temperatures that'll be in the upper 70s, so it is going to be well below average in the temperature department. Overnight lows expected to be down into the mid-50s once again, so another cooler feeling morning. And Friday afternoon, similar with highs in the upper 70s to right around the 80-degree mark. So it is likely that we do have another day that'll be below average in the temperature department and could be even a little bit chillier out towards the Lake Erie shores. Into the weekend, though, there is going to be a slight increase in the levels of heat. Highs on Saturday are going to be in the low to mid 80s. Although humidity is expected to stay very comfy for the start of the weekend. It is going to be a mostly sunny afternoon, dry and mild conditions. Highs will be in the upper 70s. Our normal high is at 86, so well below that normal average. Friday's temperature does turn up into the lower 80s, still very comfortable in the humidity department. And then Saturday, mid 80s. Not a whole lot of mugginess on Saturday, but then by Saturday night and into Sunday, you are going to feel an uptick in the humidity. It is going to be a mainly dry day on Sunday. There is going to be some humidity 90s are possible, and that heat index could be in the mid-90s, although there's really not much of an impetus to spark any storms on Sunday. So other than a brief pop-up shower, we do expect dry conditions. So what about humidity levels? The muggy meter remaining very comfortable for the next 72 hours. I expect low levels of humidity Thursday, Friday, even into Saturday. That muggy meter remaining in the low territory. That corresponds to a dew point that'll be under 55 degrees. And you may recall I showed that our current dew point is only in the upper 40s. So low humidity levels. Saturday staying comfy as well. So I would say Saturday will be the pick day if you like it cooler, but Sunday could be a good pool day with increasing levels of humidity. We're going to be in that muggy territory with a dew point around 70 degrees, and that'll be true for both Sunday and Monday with higher levels of humidity that'll be possible. Now Monday, with that building humidity, there is going to be the chance for some showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be on the stronger side. Now our normal high temperature is at 86 degrees, which sounds incredibly warm, but it has actually started to decrease from the hottest stretch of summer. Our normal high during the period of July 4th through July 22nd, that is the hottest stretch of the summer season, and we hit an average high of 87 degrees. So highs have officially started dropping on average. That's not to say we're done with the warmth just yet, but at least statistically speaking, that average high temperature has started to fall, at least by a degree from where it was at the apex of the summer heat. How do our average highs change over the next couple of weeks? Well, our average high at its peak was 87 degrees. By August 1st, we're still at 86, so it's a very gradual shift at first. Middle of August, 84. Start of September, 82. So again, a gradual shift, but then by mid-September, you really start to feel the change in the weather. And then by early October, that average high is going to be falling to 72 degrees. So compared to the hottest days of summer to the start of October, there is a 15-degree decline in the average high temperature. So how are our temperatures going to fare as we turn over the calendars from July into August? Well, below average conditions are expected for New England. That blue color stretching out towards the Atlantic seaboard into Michigan and Ohio does show you below average temperatures with cooler than normal conditions expected. Now, meanwhile, to the west of us, there is going to be heat that is building. So where do we fall on this? Sort of right on the battleground. Northwest Ohio is expected to be a little below average for the next couple of days, but there is going to be some heat that'll be building out to the west of us. So what about rainfall? It is going to be a relatively dry stretch of weather as well, from Minneapolis down towards Chicago and even extending into northwest Ohio and southern Michigan. The outlook is going to be drier than normal, so it is going to be a relatively quiet stretch of weather to go along with the relatively cool conditions as well. Below normal precip is expected out towards New England, below average precip as well, and this weather map takes us all the way through August 6th, so it is likely that as we head into the start of August, there is a little bit less rainfall than normal, and there's really not any signs that there's going to be an active weather pattern. Back towards the Rockies, there could be a little more activity, and then far east, right along the east coast, there could be some above average rainfall, but for the most part, it is going to be a relatively quiet weather pattern. So let's talk about that extended forecast and our next changes in the weather that you can expect. Remember, our low this morning was at 53 degrees, and that was the coldest low that we have recorded during the month of July so far. Tomorrow's low is going to be similarly cold. We're going to be at 54 degrees for that morning low on Thursday, and it is going to be mainly sunny to start things off. 54 degrees to start off your Friday morning. 81 degrees into the afternoon on Friday. It is expected to stay largely sunny and beautiful, very similar to the conditions that we're seeing today, and those humidity levels remaining nice and fresh and comfortable. Into the start of the weekend, there is going to be a little bit of fair weather cloud cover on Saturday. 59 degrees, so a nice, cool, crisp morning for that morning walk. Afternoon highs are expected to be in the mid-80s for your Saturday. As we head towards Sunday, that's when the humidity starts to build. 91 degrees is the expected high for those Sunday plans, and the heat index, or the feels like, could even be up into the mid-90s. Our next chance for showers and thunderstorms, that is going to be rolling in Monday and into Tuesday. There is going to be a 30% storm chance both days, so there still is a good deal of uncertainty and lack of confidence in the timing, the specific timing, but Monday there is going to be a slight risk of a few strong to even severe storms if that line of storms does time out right. Monday's high is going to be in the low to mid-90s, and that means the heat index could be in the mid to even upper 90s as a result of the humidity. Tuesday, still staying very muggy. Highs are going to be in the upper 80s with a slight chance for a few lingering showers and thunderstorms. As we head towards the middle of the week, highs are going to be in the low 80s. That cold front drops us from the upper 80s to the low 80s. And Wednesday, you're also going to feel a sharp drop in humidity levels, so it is going to be a more comfortable feel. Temperatures do quickly climb back up to the upper 80s on Thursday, though. Normal high still at 86, so we're going to be back above average for the remainder of the extended forecast. Now, after that brief bout with some showers and thunderstorms, it is likely that we do have another dry stretch that is going to be expected. Remember, I showed you that below average precipitation outlook. Other than that 30% chance of storms Monday and Tuesday, I do expect that we have a relatively quiet stretch of weather, and that is expected to carry us over into the start of August. Our 10-day weather forecast now does take us out to the month of August, and it is likely that temperatures do start to warm up slightly, creeping back into the upper 80s, but rainfall amounts remaining below average with a relatively quiet and mild stretch of weather heading over into the start of August.